Nothing adds more flavor to soups and sauces than your own homemade chicken stock simmering with onions, celery, carrots, and peppercorns. Hi guys, I'm Madeline here at Lakeside Table, and today we're making our own homemade chicken stock. Now, if you think that making your own chicken stock is really difficult and takes way too much time, I guarantee you it is super easy. Plus, I'm going to give you several shortcuts throughout this video that will really reduce the cooking process, but still give you a great tasting chicken stock. Okay, but before we jump into all of this, let's have a quick chat about the difference between a stock and a broth. So generally speaking, these are two terms that are often used interchangeably, which is totally fine. However, broth is something that we generally drink, and stock is something that we cook with. Also, technically, broth is any liquid that has had meat cooked in it, whereas stock has had primarily bones cooked in it, plus meat, skin, and other aromatics like carrots, onion, and celery. Make sense? Okay, cool. Now, if you still have questions, just go ahead and post those in the comment section. Now, my favorite chicken to make a homemade chicken stock with is a rotisserie chicken carcass. And you can see I've got one of these here, and I've just taken all the meat off the bird and set that aside. These are relatively inexpensive, and the meat makes a fabulous chicken salad or a great chicken dinner with a velouté sauce. To get the most flavor out of your chicken, whether you're using a rotisserie, a baked chicken, or a raw chicken, you want to roast your chicken bones in the oven at 375 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes. And that will really deepen the flavor and will take your chicken stock to a whole new level. Now, if you've cooked with me before, you know what's next. Mise en place. Go ahead and get all your ingredients and your equipment ready. Okay, so while our chicken bones are roasting, go ahead and melt 2 tablespoons of butter into a sauté pan. After the butter is melted, add 1 chopped onion, 3 chopped celery stalks, and 3 chopped carrots. Cook these until the onion is soft and the celery and carrots are lightly browned. Here's another shortcut you can use to cut down on some of your prep time. Roasting the veggies, totally optional. If you don't roast your veggies, you will still get a great tasting chicken stock, but maybe the flavors just won't be quite as deep, but it'll still be really good. All right, I think we are ready for our chicken bones. Turn this off. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put it all together. Get a soup pot out. This is more of a stock pot than a soup pot. All right, so in go your veggies. And you can see that we've got all this really great fond right here in the pan. Woo! And I'll show you how we'll get that out and incorporate it in all these flavors into our stock. All right, and then the chicken bones go right on top of the veggies. Get all these guys in there. Try not to make too big of a mess. There we go. All right, now we're gonna cover our chicken and vegetables with just enough water to cover it all. We're gonna put in a little parsley and some black peppercorns and 1 or 2 bay leaves. And we'll go ahead and fill this guy all the way up until it just covers everything. All right, now for the fond, check this out. This is a great way to utilize all this flavor. Just put a little bit of water in your pan, turn the fire on high, and then work this out with your wooden spoon until all this comes up. Once the water gets super hot and boiling, this comes right up. All right, so we've got our fond cleaned up from our pan. So not only do we have really great flavor going in here, but our pan's almost clean too. Increase the heat to high just until the water starts to boil. Then immediately reduce the heat to low and simmer the stock for 2 to 4 hours, uncovered or partially covered. Finish it off with a little fresh lemon juice. Okay, there are 2 tricks to making sure that you get a really beautiful clear stock. The first one is to make sure that your stock never comes up to a rolling boil. Boiling can emulsify the fat, which will make it cloudy. So keep your stock at the barest of simmers. The second trick is to strain, and strain one more time for good measure to remove all the little particles floating around. This is a shortcut I use when I am really short on time. I just pick up a box of chicken stock or chicken broth, and then I go ahead and roast the vegetables and then simmer them in the store-bought stock, and that helps you get the most flavor you possibly can and deepens the flavor of your store-bought stock. So, little tip there. When you're done making your homemade stock or semi-homemade stock, it will keep in the refrigerator in an airtight container for about 7 to 10 days, no problem. If you want to freeze it, it'll keep in the freezer for about 6 months. I freeze mine in muffin tins for easy to use smaller amounts. Then I pop them into freezer bags so they're handy. Now your homemade chicken stock is ready to be enjoyed as a healthy, soothing broth, or you can use it in all sorts of soups and sauces. Oh, so good. And it makes the house smell amazing. Now this recipe is in my cookbook, Lakeside Table Sauces, which can be found on my blog, lakesidetable.com. And I gift wrap every one, so it makes a perfect gift for a wedding, birthday, or graduation present. So head on over there and get yours, and then come on back for more videos, and I will see you then. Bye, guys.